What's the deal? What's the deal, y'all? This y'all boy, Battle Rap Chuck 92. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe. Okay. So, I'm gonna break down a verb in Hitman from afar. Like I'm gonna like break this type of stuff down. And this is really gonna be like, my last time actually speaking on this situation. I know this is random as far as like what I'm about to say, but I just can't wait until some battles get popping. I can't wait, bro. But anyway, though, I know it's a few people talking about a verb is like Charleston White or whatever. It's funny because Swamp is the first person that called a verb Charleston White. So this is a thing, man. Like, this is how I always felt about like certain people that like want to go at like people like a Charleston White. I always felt like, if you're gonna hit up a Charleston White, or even like decide to go FaceTime with like a Charleston White, it's not worth it. Okay? For one, he got like that country type talk. So it makes it like, funny with the type of things like that he's saying. He gon' out talk you. He ain't gonna let you speak. He ain't gonna do none of that. People, if people decide to jump Charleston White, or even decide to pull up on like a Charleston White is willing to call the cops on you. Okay? We all know that. And it's funny because before I actually get into this a verb and hitman holla situation, I remember when Charleston White was about to get ready for a boxing match. This one dude was just being like too extra. You know what I'm saying, with Charleston White. He was being too extra. To the point where Charleston White did something to the point to where the boxing match gets canceled. But if you really like want to like put your hands on Charleston White, and it was legal to also do something to Charleston White, like fight him in the ring, knock him out, whatever, put him to sleep. You did all the extra stuff that you weren't supposed to do before the fight. I don't know who this dude was, but he messed up the Charleston White fight. Now, when Charleston White say certain things, it's not even certain things where I'm going to even sit down and just pay a whole lot of attention to it. Yeah, Charleston White was wrong for talking about getting the kid's son and things like that. That was wrong. And he also does things to where he wants to diss gang culture. Now, that's on you. If all of a sudden, you somewhere and then you can't be saved and then something happened to you, like, that's on you. So like when I like look as far as like what's going on with like the gang culture is gonna be ticked off more than a regular person, a person that don't bang. They're gonna feel away more than a person that don't bang, the person that don't gang bang or nothing like that. So as far as like how they feel, ain't no, like I'm saying, you're not gonna be able to understand the way that they understand. But messing with like a Charleston White will get you into a situation, because he don't mind calling the cops on you. He don't mind doing that. He'll call the cops on you. He'll stab you if he could. He'll spit on your grave if he could. That's like the version of like a Charleston White. Okay? Now, the reason I brought up the Charleston White is because the way people say certain things about like the A-verb situation, A-verb and hitman holla. First off, was Gerald wrong for going to Verb and asking him about the hitman holla situation? Yeah, I felt like that was wrong when he probably should have just hit up ARP first. Yeah, of course. But when you like way from elsewhere, right? And that a verb and hitman is like at least like a little cordial, and you was kind of blind by it, and you know that they're at least cordial. You will be blinded by, you would think that they friends, right? But that still don't give you the right to hit up a verb and, like, you know what I'm saying, to ask him certain things about him and this and that. It still don't give you the right, you know. And, you know, Gerald said this from afar anyway. He been said this. He said the worst mistake I did was hit up a verb to ask him about Hitman Holla. Now, just like I said up in the last vlog, we don't know as far as like what, we don't know the conversation that A-Verb had with Gerald. And we don't know the conversation that Gerald had with Hitman. We don't know. We don't know, bro. But you know what I'm saying? But I will say this though. If I squashed something like with it, you know what I'm saying, like with the homie or whatever the case might be, if I squashed something with him, okay, it's squashed. So when I was pulling up to his events and this and that, I'm not knowing like what's going on. I don't even know that dude still have a problem with me. I thought we squashed it. And when I see him, he's smiling in my face, I'm shaking his hand, I'm doing all these things. It's like, if you really, really like felt the way, please like let me know. Cause I ain't gotta show up to your events. I ain't gotta like rock with you like that. I ain't gotta do that. Let me know. But of course, Hitman Holla didn't really, you know, do that. It seemed like, you know, that's what it seemed like what happened. But then see, like, that's me like looking at verb side. Like if you been had a problem with me, why didn't say nothing to me? Because even though in your mind you're gonna stay distant, okay, cool, you're gonna stay distant. But it just seemed like you had a bigger problem with me. That's verb side. Hitman Holla side is, you know what? I'm kind of cool on verb because he already like tried to like interrupt my money before. He already tried to do some little slick stuff before. So you know I'ma stay away from him. I'ma just keep my distance away from him. Now if he come around, okay, cool. But I know I'ma stay my distance away from A-Verb. I ain't about to hit him up, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So we could both like go to the mall. I ain't about to like hit him up, like, you know what I'm saying, like while we both on the road together, you know what I'm saying? We driving to this battle event. I ain't gonna mess with him like that. But if I see him, yeah, I'm gonna shake his hand because at least I know that I'm keeping my distance away from him. Now, since the fact I kept my distance away from you and you hit up ARP, Gerald hits you up, and then Gerald told me that you like on like some Gerald is basically saying that, you know, that you told him, like, you know what I'm saying, like that I was like on like some fraud stuff or whatever, knowing I ain't no fraud, Verd. Like I'm saying, like, why you calling me a fraud? I'm not no fraud. With Hitman, that could make me be like, see, this is like why I stay my distance away from people. And even though I stay my distance away from people, people still do dirty stuff behind my back, behind closed doors, even though I be staying my damn distance. Okay? So that's how Hitman Holla felt. Hitman Holla was like, oh, you know what? Even though Verb ain't like my best friend, you know, like my buddy, whatever the case might be, I'ma just stay my distance away from him. And ain't no wrong staying your distance or like away from people. Ain't no wrong with that. Me personally, if I stay my distance away from a person, but that person still like done something to me, it's gonna make me 10 times even more madder because it make me just think, see, this is why I stay my distance in the first place, and it's gonna make me want to address that person. It's gonna make me, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna make me want to really, really like for real approach that person. You get what I'm saying? It's gonna make me want to do that. So Verb feel like you could have been talked to. Hitman Hollow's like, dawg, I was already keeping my distance from you, and then you do this, I'm on you. Now, Hitman Holla definitely should know that. Even though he probably most likely told Gerald, as long as Verb don't take it to the internet, I'm cool with that. And you know Verb is going to take it to the internet. Now, Hitman Holla, he ended up taking it to the internet as well. He talking about like what he going to do to Verb. Verb talking about as far as like, you know, if you feel this way, like, let's box. Now, I'm going to be real on that one. Because me personally, if I feel a way about somebody, if I really, really feel like I want to punch you in your face, I don't want to make like some money to go to like a boxing event with you. When I see you, I want to punch you in your face. When I see you, I want to get it in. I want to fight when I see you, as soon as I see you. Okay? So verb will also have to understand, nah, I don't want to box with you. I want to fight. Okay? For real, for real. Okay? I want to punch your face off. Okay, cool. So we move on with the situation, right? Me personally, how I've grown up, I'm not arguing with nobody on the phone. I'm not going to the internet with it either. I'm not doing none of that. When I see you, it's when I see you. That's it. Now, Hitman Holla was probably so frustrated to the point to where he probably couldn't even control himself, which you have to learn to control yourself. But, and this is what I'm speaking in general, because I don't know Hitman, but he probably felt so mad, so disappointed, he wanted his verb up on Twitter and things like that. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, though. I'm not going to lie to you, though, Hitman. When you told verb, we going to pull up on you. If I'm verb, I'm like, okay, we going to pull up on you. Okay, so you want to take it to somewhere else. Because when it comes to us people, certain things always get taken further. It's always going to be that one person to try to jump in. The next thing you know, somebody else going to jump in. The next thing you know, it's going to be something going down. Next thing you know, gunshots going to start firing. And then it's going to come to the point to where if you have about 10 dudes with you and he got 10 dudes with you, somebody is going to tell, somebody going to say what happened, somebody going to say something. But then that make me go back to where that's why I don't really mess with people. I could care less about groups. I could care less about all that stuff. But guess what, though? If I have to protect myself, if you talking about we gonna pull up on you, now it's making me decide as far as okay, what I'm gonna do. Because when you say we gonna pull up on you, and I ask you for a boxing match, okay, you don't want the boxing match. You saying that we gonna pull up on you. You said you and who? What you mean we? Now, if you said you was going to pull up on me, and I willing to trust you that, man, you was just going to just throw, like I'm saying, man, you just going to throw him, man, you just going to catch the fade. Okay, well then cool. Man, you just going to catch the fade. But then when you say we going to pull up, that's where it's kind of like a killer. Because you willing to do something else that I'm willing to not even say on this camera. You willing to also involve other people. But me, how I get down, I'm not willing to involve other people up in my bull crap. I'm willing to take care of it myself. But then when you say we, then that make me feel like I'm going to have to come up with another plan when you say we going to pull up. And on the real, all the type of stuff that verb was doing, if I'm Hitman, I just wait. I just wait and wait. You know what I'm saying? Just play possum. And when I see verb, okay, cool. I see you now. If a person says something bad about me, and then if I had an interview, and they be like, oh yeah, so how you feel about such and such? I'm like, okay, well, oh yeah, he's straight. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no problem. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no issue. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no issue at all. But then when I see you, it's totally different as far as what I think about you when I see you, because I got the opportunity to get you. Okay? I'm not involving nobody up in my bull crap, regardless if verb involves somebody or regardless of if Hitman involves somebody. But if you're talking about doing something to me, if you're talking about saying we gonna pull up, then what you mean by that? You willing to have other people pull up to my crib too? And I don't know them other people, but you know them. Okay, cool. So then we go with the police situation, the security situation. Now, let me tell you something, man. This make me go back to what I was saying in the first place. When you're talking about pulling up on somebody, when you're talking about threatening somebody, you never know how far that person is willing to take it. You never know how far a person is really, really willing to take it, bro. And that's the part that people got to understand. That's the part that Hitman is going to have to understand. You never know. When you see all these things online, you never know. Boy, if you was quiet, that would have bothered a verb soul. That will bother anybody's soul when you just quiet and you ain't saying nothing. But y'all grown men, y'all could do whatever y'all want to do. So was Hitman Holla wrong for saying all that type of stuff on Twitter and all that other stuff? Yeah, in a way. But guess what? Hitman Holla a grown man. He could do whatever the hell he want to do. The same way how Verb could do whatever he want to do. He could do whatever he want to do. But guess what though? I'm not even gonna hold you though. When all of a sudden you gonna say that you gonna call the cops on me and this and that. Hey, guess what? If I'm Hitman, it's like, well, hey, we never been cool. So I'm not surprised that he decided to take it that route. I'm not surprised. Anybody that I get into it with, 99%, if I get into it with you, I have to know in the back of my, I have to know in the back of my head, it's a strong possibility you're going to probably like, you know what I'm saying? You're going to probably like want to come back and get me because I got the best of you. You probably going to want to come back and use that you know what on me. Or you might end up calling the cops on me. Or you might end up getting somebody else to come to my spot and do something to me. So that's why with all these dudes that be talking super, super tough on the internet and things like that, a lot of these dudes be calling the police any damn way. That's what they be doing any damn way. That's what they do. But see, this is why I stay my distance, because I'm not involving nobody up in my stuff, because I know that they willing, because at the end of the day, if it's by like 7 of us, somebody is telling. If all 6 didn't tell, one of them gonna tell. If all 5 didn't tell, 2 of them gonna tell. Somebody telling. When you go out and you do something that you ain't even supposed to be doing, I hope you was by yourself. Because if you wasn't by yourself, you going to jail, buddy. That's just like what I'm saying. Like, that's just how it is at the end of the day. Now, another thing too, because I see what both people did wrong on both sides. With Aver reposting the stuff about Hitman Holla moms, about what like another dude is saying about her, it don't matter, because I had to look at it like, if my moms was sick and I got into it with somebody a long time ago when they said something about my mama, and then years later go by, I get into it with another person, and then that new person is reposting of like what this old person said about my moms. No, I'm sensitive about that. I'm willing to even get at you even more, because you know how I feel about my mama. It's just the fact that you reposted that. You reposted that as of like it's an agreement. I want to get at you. Where you at? I want to fight. Yeah, it could make you feel like that. Yeah. So at the end of the day, when you decide to like be like, oh yeah, man, you know, and then like when dude said that he was gonna do something to Hitman or whatever, and Hitman be like, oh yeah, I ain't gotta do this and that to you, I'm rich. Yes, I understand up in the battle rap media if Hitman Holla says, yeah, I ain't gotta do nothing to you, I'm rich. I ain't gotta fight you, I'm rich. I understand when it comes to the battle rap media that if it's Hitman saying it, it's kind of like, oh, whatever, and people just don't remember it. But if A Verb do it, yeah, oh yeah, A Verb is a B. A Verb is this. A Verb is that. A Verb is a coward. A Verb is this. A Verb is that. Yeah, that's what happens. But at the end of the day, like, both people was like wrong as far as like handling, you know what I'm saying, like this situation. Because me personally, no matter as far as like the type of stuff that I end up getting myself into, I ain't about to like call like no police or nothing like that. I'm not, you know what I'm saying, like I'm not putting myself up in that situation. But see, I have to expect if I end up getting into it with somebody, I know it's not the end when I get into it with somebody. So other than that though, You know, like, that's how I feel about the A Verb and Hitman Holla situation. Hitman Holla have certain things to where he could be possibly wrong at, and Verb could be at certain places where he could be possibly like being like wrong at as well. A Verb hitting up MTV and all this other stuff, it just make me like look at it as a human being like, yeah, y'all couldn't have possibly never been cool, bro. Y'all couldn't have never been cool. Because if I get into it with my homie and stuff like that, I ain't hitting up his job or no stuff like that, bro. So, man, it is what it is. But see, at the end of the day, that's why I stay away from people. And that's why I go solo. And I move on. I don't have time to be around a group. I do things solo. It is what it is. But this is going to be my last time speaking on this A Verb and Hitman Holla situation. I don't want to go far. You know what I'm saying? I really, really don't. I just hope both people move on. But it's just like when them buttons just keep getting pushed, bro, then certain things come to the point where certain things end up going down. Certain things, like, you know, hopefully it don't go that far. But this y'all boy Battle Rap Chuck, man. Go on.